Hi, thanks for joining the Discover Your Life Today YouTube channel. My name is Maveen Kaura. I am from discoveryourlifetoday.com, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to go out and do big things. This is pretty much the conference notes from an event that was held on November 4th in West Palm Beach by Donald Kelly and Travis L. Thomas. These two guys here put on the Do Big Things conference really because they wanted you to go out and do big things and find ways to accomplish all the things that you really want to accomplish. So they are great people out there like Donald and Travis out there putting on these type of events so you can go to them and find ways to motivate yourself and find ways to grow your business and grow yourself. They had the opportunity to bring in many different speakers, and I unfortunately did not have the opportunity to go to the event itself, but what I did make friends, befriend Donald Kelly on Twitter once I actually found his podcast, the Sales Evangelist. I started listening to that sales podcast myself, and through time I started messaging Donald on Twitter, and we had a nice conversation. We were able to, I believe, become friends on Twitter and off Twitter as well. I've had numerous Skype conversations with him as well. I even had an opportunity. I was doing some crowdfunding for a friend of mine, and I had an opportunity to talk to him and ask him some details about what he did for crowdfunding for this actual conference as well. And I learned a lot of things that he and Travis did that I was able to either take from and apply to what myself and my business partner were doing when we were doing our conference as well. So the event here was obviously held in West Palm Beach, and it was really having entrepreneurs come in to teach other entrepreneurs on how to take advantage of what was happening in around them. It was a great way for people to build networks and build relationships with people and help them grow their business. I watched the video because that's the way Donald actually sent me the Do Big Things conference video, and I took notes based on each speaker who was at that conference. Now, what I want to do is give you some of the information that was at this conference. Obviously, if you have an opportunity, I would recommend that you follow Donald Kelly over at the Sales Evangelist, and you can also follow Travis over at Live Yes And. That's his own personal platform as well. So what I'm going to do is go through some of the speakers' notes. I recommend you get yourself a piece of paper, a pen, maybe your Evernote, maybe open up your Word document on your computer if that's where you are, and take some notes from some of the wonderful speakers that were at this conference as well. So the first speaker that was at the conference was Heather Medford. Now, Heather, for example, she started her business and had the ability to connect with children. So this is kind of where she comes from in that space. She helps children on their journey of finding happiness, fulfilling their lives, and finding ways to empower themselves. Heather helps children navigate through childhood and adolescence. Heather herself has a bachelor's degree in social psychology and has work experience well over 10 years and has also worked in elementary schools. So this is kind of what brought all her, her business idea together, that she said, you know what, I don't have to teach for somebody else. I can go out and do my own business and start my own consulting. And this is exactly what she did. So these are some of the notes that I took from Heather's talk that I think will motivate you as well. Heather feels she can connect with children in ways that others may not be able to. She spent 5 years teaching before this business idea even came to her. So it shows you sometimes you have to stick with things before ideas will come to you on how to do things differently. Heather asks us to reflect on the question, why now versus why me? She believes every obstacle is an opportunity to ask, what will I learn? Heather fought and beat cancer and found the positive in her experience. And she took the positive out of experience, and I believe she's motivated other people as well from this experience. She says, do not complain about things. Most of us spend mindless time complaining. Heather asks you and I to consider, if we keep complaining, is this really going to help us find the solutions that we want? Do not take no for an answer. You have to believe in your ability to get things done. Sometimes you have to make up a job title, and figure out how you're going to succeed if that is not available to you. Choose faith over fear. We must believe in an outcome that has not happened yet. Your power comes from moving forward based on what you want. Have a message for your life and then go for it. Use positive daily self-talk to reprogram the negative mindset into a more positive mindset. Celebrate life with people. And you do not have to be certified life coach to go out and help people. The next speaker was Danny Pena, and I hope I say his name correctly. He's from gamertagradio.com. Danny was the actual founder and co-founder of the internet gaming community. After podcasting for 12 years, Danny himself was inducted to the Hall of Fame. I actually didn't even know there was a podcast Hall of Fame, so it's kind of neat that there is an opportunity for people who are podcasting to be a part of this Hall of Fame and be known in that sphere of influence. I'm sure many other people will make that Hall of Fame if they're already not in it, that are in the podcasting space today. Danny's uncle influenced to record videos. So it's interesting how other people can influence you to do the things that you need to do. His grandmother had actually bought him his first video game console. So although a lot of people think video games are a waste of time, there are some real benefits of being able to merge, like Danny did, the video game and the video side of things. Danny reminds us that to have a vision regardless of what you are going to do. It is important to network and get your name out there. That's something that he did very early on in the gaming industry. When you show up to events, you never know what's going to happen. That's why it's important to be positive and to always go to everything that you can make yourself available to go to. See people and treat them as if you are a part of a community. Get people to be excited when they're around you. It is important to get sponsors for any event that you are holding. It's a great business strategy as well. Do not give up on your vision. Find a team and work with that team, because that team will help you succeed. Go to events where you can connect with people that are different from you. Find ways to cross-promote your business through people and their platforms. You can help people succeed. And you can lead with action. People don't always follow talk. The next speaker is Mace Haroff, and I hope I say his name correctly as well. Mace is the author, is a speaker, is a teacher of people, and teaches people how to sell products and services in the medical industry. He has over 20 years experience in sales and in that industry, so he really spoke from that viewpoint. What he says is, share personal stories as they impact the person listening. Remember that sales is a competition sport. So you are up against other people when you are selling your products and services. So you have to compete, and in order to compete, you have to be at the top of your game. You have to be the most knowledgeable. You have to know the most information. You may need to learn how to network properly, learn how to sell, learn how to close sales, have a good team of people who can help you close sales. That is something you're going to need, because it is a competitive sport, and that's what other people are doing as well. When you hold on to stuff, you only hold yourself back. Make people happy, and don't just be happy with material goods. What you do and what you want to do with your life may be two different things. Take action, experience it, and then you'll know exactly where you need to grow. To learn to sell, you should go door to door. This is where a lot of growth can occur. Speak and write about the things that you are best and most knowledgeable on. Don't get overly confident in your ability. There are other people behind you who can outwork you, who will outwork you, and have that same confidence that you have. So always be humble when you work, but go out in confidence, knowing that your ability will help you accomplish what you want. Think big and not small. The next person to speak was Alexa Rose Carling. Now, with Alexa is a full-time speaker and motivator. She empowers women by having them look at different ways that they can go out and accomplish big things. She's a published author and speaker who speaks from stage with passion and looks to help impact other people. She started her speaking engagement with 5 people, and 2 years later, she built her audience to well over 2,400 people. So a great person to learn from. Alexa says to be unrealistic with your goals and your dreams. So dream big is what she's saying. Build a strong following on social media. There's a lot of different ways you can find people to have follow you on different platforms. Create your own social meetups and groups. Be different and be authentic. Go after your dreams and don't worry about what your competition is doing. Find an agent who can book speaking gigs for you if possible. You need to focus on your talks and find someone who will help you focus on your business. Start your public speaking career by joining something like Toastmasters, where you can really learn and get in front of people and learn how to speak. One of the other speakers was Linda H. Yates. Linda here is actually Donald Kelly's speaking coach, which is kind of neat. She helps other people through her successful coaching, her speaking, and helps people understand about branding. She's helped people in companies like Microsoft, Wells Fargo, and Honeywell as well. She has stressed the importance of dressing well since the age of 13. Linda's also published a book as well called Beyond the Clothes, Image and Presence. These are some of the points that she brought up in her talk. Linda wants us to focus and reminds us to focus on that nothing is impossible. She wants us to focus on our strengths. She wants to ask you, how do you find your confidence? Did you know that 90% of the people who dress well also feel confident? Did you know that only 2% of the population believes that they're beautiful? I think that's a huge thing, and it's a huge number, because if 98% of the people don't believe they are beautiful, we have to show people they are beautiful by the way we talk to them, with our attitude and our disposition towards them. People always perform to the levels they dress at. And did you know that a dress jacket can make you look more confident and give you up to 50% more authority to the person and with the person you are speaking with? One of the other people to speak was Jared Easley. Jared, I believe, gave Donald Kelly his first real opportunity to go out there and podcast. And Jared is actually also the co-host of Podcast Movement, which is the largest podcast event in the podcasting industry. Some of the things that Jared talked about from stage: you must be faithful and flexible to become fruitful. I thought that was a pretty interesting thing. He also mentioned a Chinese proverb: bloom where you are planted. Learn how to be the best at everything you do. You need to be flexible when challenges come up. Make sure you are always planting seeds. You never know when harvest time will come. One of the other speakers here was Alex Barker. Alex is an entrepreneur and has 3 separate podcasts. He's currently writing for the Huffington Post and the Entrepreneur magazine at the time of the event. He works with different people and he helps coach people as well. So some of the stuff that Alex talked about was, ask yourself, who do I blame for not being a success? Do you blame yourself or do you blame others? Ask yourself, what lies do I tell myself every single day, and why do I tell myself those lies? It is important to ask people for help when you need help. Set up a mastermind with 5 people and then branch off that mastermind when everybody is ready to move forward. What can I give back to society even though I am scared to do so? These are just some of the great speakers that were at the Do Big Things conference held by Donald C. Kelly and Travis Thomas. What I would recommend is to check them out. Check out both of their podcasts. Again, that's the Sales Evangelist with Donald Kelly, and of course, Live Yes, and by Travis L. Thomas. If you have any comments, please leave them below. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on some of the things that the different speakers talked about on this at this conference. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to our YouTube channel for Discover Life Today. I also asked you to go over to discoverlifetoday.com and go ahead and subscribe to the blog as well. If you have any other comments, I'd love to hear what you have to say. I'd love to also have an opportunity to go check out one of these conferences one of these days. So I will be making my way there and hope to maybe see you one day at that conference as well. Other than that, I hope you go out and do big things like my friend Donald Kelly would say.